Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This week I'm going to be talking about some of my favorite Disney park tips. So, let's talk Disney. A few of the random park tips that I have thought of. So first is for Haunted Mansion. If you or your kids are afraid of the beginning portion of Haunted Mansion, because it is kind of scary with like the room stretching and all that stuff. I know I was afraid of it when I was younger. You can actually let a cast member know and they can get you around that part, and you can get ahead of all those people, get on the ride sooner, and you don't have to deal with that scary part of the ride. So the next tip is for all 4 parks, you want to get there earlier than it says the park is opening. So for example, if it says the park is opening at 9, you probably want to get there at 8:20 or 8:30, because sometimes the lines do let in sooner. And I know for a fact that when I went this past trip, we were headed to Soarin'. We got to the park a little bit early, but not early enough, and the gates were already open, and there was a huge wait for Soarin' already. So definitely try to get there before the park opens. So the next tip is that there is a store behind Cinderella's castle that has tons of cute like princess items and stuff, but what people usually don't know is there is a stage kind of set back there for taking pictures. So this is primarily used for the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, and that's what most people use it for, but you can definitely check it out and take your own pictures if you'd like. Next one I had never thought of doing, but it definitely is a good tip, especially if you have a backpack that you will be carrying around in the park. But the tip is to take one of the towels from your resort and use it to either wipe yourself off, maybe after getting off like Splash Mountain or a water ride, or you can use it as extra cushioning to sit on during the parades. Now obviously you just don't want to lose these towels, but yes, it is a great tip to use. This is another one that I had never really thought about doing until I came across it, and it's actually a really good point, which is if you're ever wondering where a good spot to watch wishes is, look for the people with the tripods, because usually they know what they're talking about and they'll know where the best angle is. Probably have a really good view of the castle if you kind of stick around these kind of people. Also, I kind of realized that I unintentionally did that when we watched Wishes, because now that I think about it, there was a guy with a tripod right behind us. So, it's a good tip. Next tip is as soon as you check in to your 3rd Fast Pass, go ahead and register for a 4th Fast Pass if it's available. Because sometimes even with Fast Passes there is a line. I know we had Fast Passes for Tower of Terror and we still had to wait like a half an hour. So while you're standing in that line waiting, go ahead and make another reservation so you can get that in. This tip is for kind of crowds. So if you are walking down Main Street, take a look at the sidewalks, because a lot of people actually walk in the street, because I mean, you can walk in the street down Main Street. So that's what a lot of people do, and the sidewalks tend to be kind of clear. So check that and you might find a way to kind of get around all the people. When going to see Fantasmic, you come in the top left. Well, supposedly if you sit on the top right, you can actually exit the park quicker. I know my family sat on the top left, so it took us quite some time to leave, and we were leaving the park right after. So if you are planning on leaving the park right after Fantasmic, definitely sit on the top right, because it will exit out to the front of the park and you can kind of skip a whole bunch of that crowd, which is especially important because around the time Fantasmic was going on, they had the Star Wars fireworks going off, so it was like 2 giant crowds just, yeah, it was bad. Another one for Fast Passes. So if you have a Fast Pass for, say, Splash Mountain, but the standby line is actually pretty short, I would get in the standby line and either change out your Fast Passes for maybe something else, but if there's nothing available and you would like to ride it again, then maybe use your Fast Pass afterwards. I'm pretty sure we did this for Space Mountain, where the line was short, we got in line, rode it, and then we used our Fast Pass for it as well. and you could probably ride a ride a few times if the line is still short, and then use your fast passes. The next tip is for Mission Space. This past trip was the first time I had ever been on Mission Space, so I didn't know what to expect, and I will admit that I was kind of afraid and I was really scared because a lot of people claim that, you know, they do get like motion sickness from it. So we did take the easier track, but supposedly if you stay sitting forward, you should be fine. The most sickness comes from turning. So a lot of parents will check on their kids and look over, but then in return that makes them sick. So if you just stay forward and look ahead, you should be fine. So I'm not sure how many people actually know this, but the parks actually stay open later than they say. So although the queues for the rides and stuff shut down at a certain time, the rides will continue going until everybody in the line has made it through, and some of the shops on Main Street will remain open. And you get to catch the kiss goodnight if you stay long enough, and you can also get tons of cool pictures of you and your family on an empty Main Street, so that's pretty awesome. For the ride Soarin', a lot of people either like the third tier or the first tier. I personally prefer the first tier because the third tier is stable, it doesn't do as much rocking as the two up top, which is why some people do like that one, because if you're prone to motion sickness, that's probably a better bet for you. But I like the first one because there are no feet dangling below you, so it's a pretty like real view, and it makes you really feel like you're a part of the ride, so that's cool. The best view for Illuminations is actually between the two gift shops at the entrance of the World Showcase, and I'm trying to remember where my family was when we watched Illuminations, but I'm pretty sure that we were in that spot because I remember coming out and pretty much being right at the exit to the World Showcase. So if that is true, then yes, that is a wonderful spot to watch Illuminations. If you are celebrating any occasion, make sure that you get an I'm celebrating button, because there is a chance that you might get some free things, and even if not, a lot of people congratulate you on whatever. I went for a graduation present and I had a just graduated button, and I definitely got a lot of congratulations, and I think I even got some free food at one point, so that was pretty cool. This next one is one of my favorites. So if you go onto Disney's website, you can request a free planning DVD. So if you're new to Disney and are not quite sure what you want to do, the planning DVD will definitely help. But for someone like me who just constantly misses Disney, it's nice each year to kind of get a planning DVD just to see, you know, what's new and what's different about the park. And it's really fun to watch when you miss Disney. There is a sidewalk that travels past the boardwalk and Swan and Dolphin that connects Epcot to Hollywood Studios. It's about a 30-minute walk, and it sometimes is a lot quicker than taking Disney transportation. There are 2 discount outlets for Disney merchandise that's either discontinued or just they're cheaper, and they are Vineland and iDrive. And I know iDrive is in Orlando, and Vineland is near downtown Disney or Disney Springs. So definitely try not to pay full price for everything, and maybe stop by those stores because they might have some stuff that Disney does not. Last but not least, if you stop by Epcot's Club Cool, you can get a caffeine fix with some free samples of soda from around the world, and I think that's really awesome. Alright guys, that's it for this week's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!